Hello everyone, Eerieflix welcomes you once again. Today's story is quite chilling. It's a true story of a delivery boy and his horrifying experience that he shared with us. Let's begin the story. I used to work as a delivery boy in a restaurant. One night, around 12 o'clock, my shift had ended, and I was getting ready to go home when I received a phone call. I answered the call, and a girl was placing an order. Her voice sounded frightened, and it was quite late at night, so I initially declined taking the order. However, when the girl increased the order size, my manager convinced me to take it, offering me extra commission for overtime delivery. Thinking I might get a good tip, and needing the money at the time, I accepted the order and prepared to deliver it. It was a cold night, and the road was eerily quiet, leading to a distant address. As I followed the location, I found myself in a desolate area surrounded by trees. It felt like I was in some kind of jungle, with a narrow path in the middle. As I proceeded, the surroundings became more desolate, and I reached a location with only an old, dilapidated house. Apart from that house, there was nothing else around, as beyond it was just a river. Seeing the house, I felt a sense of fear, especially since there was no light inside, and the area was quite dark. Without delivering the order, I started to leave, and while updating my manager, suddenly the lights in the house turned on and I heard footsteps. Upon seeing the light, I gained some courage, thinking someone must live there. I rang the doorbell, loudly announcing, "Delivery boy," despite no one coming to take the order, despite waiting. Then I touched the door, and it swung open. I entered the house, where only one light was on. I announced again, but still, no one appeared. Suddenly, a black cat emerged from under the bed and rushed into another room. As it entered, the light in that room turned on, and I could hear the sound of a TV. Thinking someone might be pranking me, I went to that room. There, a girl was sitting on the bed, and the TV was playing loudly. The girl, with her eyes wide open, stared at me. I told her to take her order and make the payment, but she remained unresponsive, staring at me. I repeated my request, and her face suddenly twisted, and she started crying intensely, motioning towards the back door. When I looked behind me, I saw a terrifying woman standing there. Her face was disfigured, and her hands were broken. She was approaching me angrily, and fear gripped me. I trembled, dropped the order, and began to shake. At that moment, the girl who looked like crying signaled towards the door again. I immediately ran outside, wanting to escape quickly. I was eager to leave, but due to nervousness, my bike wouldn't start. The enraged woman was standing at the door, glaring at me. As the bike finally started, I hurriedly drove away. I was terrified and wanted to get away swiftly. However, suddenly, my bike began to malfunction in the middle of the road, and it eventually stopped. I got off and checked, realizing that the wheel had a puncture. It was late at night, and the place was eerily quiet. Fear overwhelmed me, and my situation was worsening. I tried to ask for a lift on the road, and I heard the sound of approaching footsteps. When I looked around, I saw the same woman coming towards me. Without a second thought, I abandoned the bike and started running towards the road. Fortunately, there was a hotel open nearby, and I sought refuge there. I called the police and informed them of the incident. In a short while, the police arrived and initiated an investigation. Upon reaching the house, they found no girl or woman. Only the order I had delivered was present. After a while, the police returned my bike and escorted me home. Following this incident, my health deteriorated, and I developed a high fever. When I returned to the restaurant after a few days, I learned from others that the police had informed them that the house had been closed for 6 years. Initially, an abnormal woman and her daughter lived there, but one day the woman murdered her daughter and then took her own life by jumping off the roof. Understanding this, I realized that the figures I had seen that day were the spirits of that woman and her daughter. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more such tales and incidents. If you have any similar experiences or stories to share, feel free to send them to our provided email address.